Welcome to today's segment of Yes, It's Legal. Josh, and today we have with us Ariel Omarzu.
How's it going?
Yeah, going great. So, Chief Business Officer at Snapdragon Hemp.
Mhm.
She's been with us for years now and has made an amazing journey. Probably one of the best in the companies, from coming in as an intern in the design field with
Yep.
us and seeing all the flaws that we had in our system and helping out with marketing and the strategy of how can we better utilize what our marketing budget is, and how can we get
Mhm.
to the right people. How do we make it look better? How do we make everything? I mean, just all these things that you brought to us, and then
Yeah.
this. Tell us about your journey from where you started to how you got here now.
Well, I got a really interesting interview. Came in fresh off of Chattanooga State, which is a local community college here, with my graphic design intern or design degree, and then came in, interviewed, fell in love with the group, with the culture. Just really enjoyed the freedom that you guys kind of like already had at that point in time, and that was like multiple years ago. I think when I got there, we had 4 stores, four or
Yeah.
five.
Mhm.
So a lot's happened since then. A lot of additional things, and I think the really cool thing about Snapdragon that I've enjoyed and that I think is very unique is just the like the CEO's ability to kind of understand that this is your like passion project that is all it's your baby, but at the same time being able to actually take people's advice and turn that and the willingness to listen. So that's kind of where I recognize there's a lot of things that maybe weren't functioning in the best for us. And I have a kind of a natural business sense, and you allowed me to do it, and that's where we're at now. We're at 13 stores,
Yeah.
and well, just different industries and stuff. But went up to a marketing director position. Came in for a little bit and worked in the HR department as an executive assistant.
Mhm.
Really got to meet and learn everything there. Fell in love with the culture as well, from that perspective. Just really got to see that you guys had like a genuine heart for what we were doing and for the people that were there, which is again really incredibly unique when you're talking about a company that's big as us. So I was super excited to be a part of that, and I again, just the creation of that. So moving up into the position that I'm currently in, which is overseeing the marketing and helping with the culture and the sales side of stuff. It's a big responsibility, but I love it because I was a benefit of that culture from the very beginning. So I I, I love being able to also see in people like maybe their skills and sets that they don't really necessarily see in themselves, and be able to kind of help direct them and guide them. And what's so fun about Snapdragon is we have all the different stores, but we also have like all the different industries, full verticals. So you're down from production to lab, and you can see like, hey man, I see that maybe this isn't like your best like skill set being like front of house salesperson, but if you go into I can see that you're like very analytical. So you go, let's put you in the production facility, and they go there and they're succeeding and excelling and finding this joy in working in their work life balance, and it's such a cool place to be. So I've
Yeah.
really enjoyed that. Yeah,
It's a great idea because, like, kind of our little motto, or at least for the products, is like the something for everybody. We make
yeah,
something for everybody, no matter what you're looking for. So,
definitely.
so kind of our employees are somewhat of the same way. It's like, we love you as a person. You're working with us. We got something for you. So there's
Yeah,
definitely been a lot of that, which is definitely part of some of the cultures from the folks. It's like, I don't really like doing what I'm doing now, but I love the company. I love who I'm around. And then we've had folks go from photography to production. We've had production people go to bakery to cook stuff. We've had bakers go to being store
yep,
managers. We've had
yeah,
every. I mean, it is really cool to create that, that family.
yeah.
So as far as like the culture goes, how would you describe maybe maybe the overall culture at Snapdragon?
So like again, just that really like the difference. I think is a big part is that like the ability to listen and actually take those different perspectives and turn them into part of what our ultimate goals are. And so, you may hear like I really love like the one-on-ones we do, or the different kinds of shout out to HR
Yeah,
department. Yeah,
yeah,
Felicia,
Felicia.
she's doing an awesome job running that. I mean, we're at 86 people now, I believe, 84, 86. Fluctuates a little bit, but that's a handful for anybody. but I think what's so exciting about the culture is that a lot of us have never really done it, the positions that we're in before. So it's very creative and it's very entrepreneurial, like even in the HR department, which you don't normally get. Of course we have our T's and our I's we have to dot and
For sure.
cross, and the very official things and the very serious aspects of selling cannabis in the state of Tennessee in particular. But the creative aspect of it, of like, most places would be like, this is just how it's done. And instead of that, we're like always questioning
Mm,
how and why. And
to make it better.
yeah, it feels like a very fresh, unique environment, and that kind of seeps into every aspect of the culture. And
Oh,
so
sure.
yeah, that's the
Yeah, one of the hard things, it's like, as we've gotten to where we are today, it's like that balance of having fun versus also being as most productive as we can be. So it's
it's the best balance.
yeah, so definitely trying to bring a lot of those, work's hard no matter what, it's
Yeah,
work, but when you can make it fun and it's not as much work anymore. So that's
yeah.
definitely a big goal we have for sure. So
Man, I spend more time with you guys than I do with my own family because that's just the nature
yeah,
of it. Like
yeah.
it'd be doing that with you or doing it at, I don't know, Target. That's where you're working. So, it's at least I enjoy it. And, we recognize that for our team as well. Is like you spend a lot of time here. Like we don't want you to be miserable. Like we
Mhm.
don't want you to be doing something that you're not enjoying, but it also isn't satisfying for you
Yeah.
or good for your future. Like so much so much joy, and like I don't know the way to describe it, but just a lot of purpose that comes out of finding something that is essentially easier for you, or that you feel like you're doing the right thing. And so when I got into this position, like, I was doing graphic intern and stuff, or not graphic design, I don't know, which I love. I love,
Mhm.
making art, and yeah, but it's not necessarily maybe my best skill set. Like I think for me, my best skill set is talking to people and identifying, ways to help them improve. And
Well, it was definitely so cool because you took that idea of like, you've done a lot of the drinks for out of the favorite label that you've done. What design of all the Snapdragon products that we make? Which one did you create that was your
Oh
favorite?
man, I love a drink line. Like if just any in like going all the way back to like projects as well.
Mhm.
Like the drinks they're just so cool because like getting to taste, this you have this huge idea like from the day I met you that like we want to make these drinks, we want to make them tasteless. Here's the like what the goal is,
Mhm.
and to see it actually come to fruition. But then like to put it in a can and to design the can and get it,
Mhm.
then to put that into marketing and having distribution companies take it all over. We have billboards with it out, in Panama. Like man, that's so awesome. I think for me, the most I really like our lemonade haze design just
Mhm.
because it's kind of like what the heck is that? If you're looking at it from far away, but the closer you get, it's like it's a lemon rind, but it's kind of basic at the same time. It's I don't know. There's something about it that just makes me feel really like full of pride just to have seen it come to from where it was, and the design I think really portrays the uniqueness of what it is. Man, I love the damn water too. So.
Yeah, the dam water's a great one for sure. I mean, we're not near the ocean. It's called dam water.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
it. Yeah, because that's a little backstory on the dam water. Is that it was like supposed to be like ocean water, right? Like from
Mhm.
Sonic. So trying the flavor profile at the very least. And so just trying to think of the best way. So we worked with an artist, Jason, or no, Butts is his last name, and I always screw up his first name. I'm so sorry. But he is awesome here in Chattanooga, and he designed the little horse riding the
Sturgeon.
sturgeon, that's it. I
Mhm.
was like, "Whale." I'm sorry, there's cameras pointing at me. But
The
yeah, the
sturgeon.
sturgeon.
The conservation efforts for the sturgeon, and then we're
Yeah.
corporate sponsors of the Tennessee Aquarium now,
Mhm.
trying to help some conservation efforts due to having this line of product that we would have not thought about. So it's all these little
Yeah.
things that just like pile together and it's just this. Oh,
And
it's so cool.
to go back to like full circle, like the person who came up with that idea was like our
Mhm.
photographer,
Yeah.
and like I kind of gave it to you, and you're like, "Hell yeah, that sounds awesome." So I was like, "All right, let's make it happen." So
Yeah.
all those proceeds go from the sell, and it's just an awesome drink to have out on the water. And the sturgeons are a huge part of what make Chattanooga the river is, and the sturgeons are super important for that. So like it's awesome to be able to give back to the community in that way as well. So
Oh yeah, for sure. So,
yeah.
so, so the basic starts of what I think is what led you to be so great today is the fact that you can get in there and you can design stuff and knock stuff out and make it look good. So you know what looks good. So whenever you've
Hopefully.
got this team of people under you, there's definitely been some ones that have come up, especially with some previous designers and stuff that we've had they've all been great. They've all had their good work, but every now and then you'll get something you're like, what the hell is this? So so to be able to come in and be like, no, that
Yeah.
was.
And try to be able to speak in the language. And that
Mhm.
exactly. That's like they
Because I
try.
don't know how to say. I was like, this doesn't look good. If it looked like, yeah, not this, it would be great.
That's definitely yeah, trying to give a little bit more direction with language that communicates well, and I think that's been a really nice thing to be able to have in my back pocket. It makes it a little softer too.
Yeah.
Just yeah, it sucks to be a designer. It just does. Like you put your heart and soul into stuff, and then like people just tear it apart, and you're like, what do you want?
Yeah.
So trying to learn to ask the right questions too, and that's been a thing, and that's also what I really have enjoyed, like getting people that come through, and we just got another intern turned into a full-time employee for us, in the design department, and being able to like spread that love and spread the knowledge, and she's learning so much. She's been doing awesome under our director Gracie too. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's all been great stuff for sure.
Hmm.
So cool things that's led us to where we are. Also to where we are is regulations and laws for 2023. Yes, it's legal, but yes, we've fought to make that happen and we're still fighting to keep it to
Yeah.
happen. So another one of the big design things that we're doing right now is all the labels have to have the child safety,
Hmm.
or all the packagings have to be child safe. All the labels have to have the warning if you're pregnant and for kids, and all these things that give us the exact font and boldness and italicized or not,
Yeah.
and
Good.
so specifics that we're doing
Yes.
on every single package that we make to ensure that we're up to date. We were pretty close before, but there's always every one of them that we've come to review. There is something minuscule or missing or something that
Yeah.
incorporated in. Was there 16 different rules for packaging? That was
There's at least.
yeah. So there's a lot of different little things that we have to, stand out size on servings because we have the servings on nutritional facts and stuff like that. But now it's
Mm-hmm.
like big bold letters on the front servings. Just those type of aspects that we're going through and trying to fix now. But
Yeah, we have pretty hefty SKU set
oh
for
yeah,
a company our size. I think if you're including all
yeah.
of the different varieties and sizes of the same type of
Hmm.
product, and I mean the last time I counted it was around like 2,000 internal SKUs. That's give or take. Now, as we've kind of dialed back a little bit and trying to find our footing on what works best for us, but that's a lot of different packages.
Oh yeah, lots of packages, especially when you get into the just real quick to give them an idea of what we're talking about. It's like the gummies. We make 12 different kind of gummies,
Yep.
right?
Hmm.
And then in the 12 different lines of gummies that we have, we also make 2 packs of those gummies. So it goes from 12 to 24. So we've got like 24 different types of way of doing a gummies just for packaging. It adds up quick. Cookies wise, we have chocolate chip cookies,
Lots of cookies.
vegan cookies, we have super cookies. We have like 4 different kinds of chocolate chip cookies. It's just, there's 100 variants of just edibles right there. So it adds up quick.
It does add up quick, and then you have, yeah, your different milligram doses and different
Hmm.
quantities, and then Josh he's amazing. If somebody wants something, and it makes sense for us, we'll make it. So we've got just like we do the custom edibles and the with the bakery, which is such a cool plan. But then all those different things come in with different SKUs as well. So all the packaging and how we get those things out and what we need to update on all of those things. It's also trying to like really nail down exactly what legislation means, because unfortunately there's just like so complicated that even right now as we're in this like kind of lull
A
period,
lot of vagueness to it, especially as
they
of
like
just in the
that.
past like 3 months, talking to the different inspectors that we have for the Department of Agriculture. There's nothing set in stone. It's just kind of vague on some of their interpretations of what of a serving size is. So,
Yep.
let's say, for example, our 12-ounce drink that we make, they wanted to have a single serving of 25 milligram,
Mm.
but it's like, well, the 12-ounce drink's a 50 milligram because that's something that you would want to sip on all day. Like me, when I get the 50 milligram diesel, it's going to take me an hour and a half to drink it, but that's what I want to happen because if it takes me an hour and a half to drink it, it's going to work for at least 4 or 5 hours
Right.
versus chugging it all in one and then you're tore up for only an hour and a half. So
Absolutely.
like I like to slow it out, but they're saying that well if it's a single can, it's got to be rated at 25 now. But then the argument was well we also do 16-ounce cans, and then they're like well if a 12 is one serving, then I guess the 16 could possibly be 2 servings. So it's just what do we do? But then like the dam water, that's we're talking to top. It's one of the top selling drinks that we do.
Yeah.
It's a 50 milligram. So if we have to bump that down to 25, what does that look like? So there's definitely some big things coming up in some negative ways, but a lot of positive ways for future
Yeah.
push. But
I mean, at the end of the day, we're still selling the best product that you can find in the area, hands down, the most affordable prices. Like it's people are gonna love it, and we're not gonna be the only people that are having to do it that route. But
mhm.
it does suck to just it's a lot of work.
Oh yeah, have to
That's the
change.
downside.
Oh yeah.
But I love the challenge, and I think that's also what has given me the drive to like really embrace this position because I love the challenge, and there's nothing more challenging than trying to market cannabis, just in general, but then especially like in the state of Tennessee, 'cause you just have like issues with like your POS system and
Oh
your
yeah.
and your merchant processors and Facebook. Oh my God,
Oh,
Meta.
social media. That's I was as you were talking, I was like, what? Trying to think of what one of the biggest challenges is to kind of talk about that one. And
Social
yes,
media.
social media that probably hits it right on for
Yes.
sure.
Oh my.
Can't say the wrong thing. Can't say so. You can't have a picture of something that like the word sale, the word anything. It's just so vague.
They
Yeah.
just make up stuff at times too, and like the thing is like okay the day before, not okay today, and then they don't give you any kind of warning on that, and then they shut it down. I mean, we've lost
Oh
4,000,
yeah. Well,
big following accounts.
oh sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've multiple times now. We had the Facebook over 4,000. We had the Instagram to 4,300 and some change, and then a year and a half later submitted another appeal and got that one back, and then it was back for a couple months or so, and it got took back again. So it's just it
It's a
is a
struggle.
fight. The biggest thing about it, what I think is so frustrating to me is you'll get banned, but you're not completely banned.
Yeah,
It's
you're
like we'll
shut.
make a new Instagram page, it does great, and all of
Mhm.
a sudden you're not getting any new followers, any new anything. And then you go and you go to a friend like I just traveled from San Francisco back last week.
Yeah.
So there's at least four people that I tried to show the Instagram and share some stuff with, and trying to find it, like
Oh,
it was such a pain in the butt because it's like it's shadow
mhm.
banned. So there's a lot of frustrations with that for sure.
It's mega frustrating. And then you
Challenges.
go to make another one. And then once you make the other one somehow gets undone.
Yeah,
So then when people are trying to tag you, there's like 12
yeah.
different ones. So it's
Which
just,
one do I
yeah,
follow?
I know
And
it
it's hard to
sucks.
post on all 12, and it's like,
Yeah,
clutter.
we've tried a lot of different, and Alec, shout out to Alec in the marketing director position there. He's just constantly at it. I mean, every day we got him into Facebook yesterday. We've made burner accounts, we've tried, we had John Johnson who people were like, who the heck is this John Johnson guy? Why is he running our social media? Like he's super bizarre. Like if you went look at this, because we would just have to post stuff every now and then. It would be like goofy memes or whatever just to keep content going. So they wouldn't think he was a fake guy.
Yeah.
That failed,
Oh, yeah.
surprisingly. So a
Reddit years ago was a frustrating one. Sadly, we've given up on Reddit.
little
We
bit,
probably went through at least, what, 20 some odd Reddit accounts?
at
Like,
least.
at least.
I
And
mean,
then eventually we got to the point where Reddit banned every IP address that had ever accessed any of those 20 accounts. And then every employee that would ever try to access, they all, yeah.
if they were in like our shop in Red Bank in particular, and you signed on to Reddit, like I think it was my dad. Yeah, his Reddit account got banned like after he came and visited
It's
us.
crazy.
So I was like, Jesus.
Oh, yeah. So they don't play.
No,
They
they
don't
do
play.
not.
But but all these things as far as the things that make it difficult along the way, but we still have a good marketing strategy.
Oh yeah.
So any new updates on our marketing strategy lately? You think?
Yeah. I mean, well, a big focus has been the billboards we just put out was like, yes, it's legal.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we made it legal. That's again, to go back to brag on Snapdragon, but that's just what I do. It's we put our money, where our mouths are, and that's been a big part of like, if I do something, I want it to have a purpose, and so like I feel like here, you work the front desk for just like 2 hours, and you will hear people coming in with just these stories about how much their life has improved by having access to stuff and in the price range that we make it to them. I mean, little old ladies with tears in their eyes that they can sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So that you feel like you're doing a good thing, but then also recognizing that this is still like on the fence subject. People are still being incarcerated. Those are very serious issues, and we want to face them and use our privilege from where we're at to do as much as we can to get this
Oh
natural
yeah,
plant into people's
yeah.
hands, and working with the lobbyists in Nashville, working with the coalition, going. Josh went up and spoke with the medical cannabis.
Yeah, Medical Marijuana Committee for Tennessee last year.
Yeah. So trying to make sure that we are supporting access to the plant, and then also supporting whatever it takes to get it in people's hands in a more rational way, and then having to go through all of the muck that many other states have done as well. So incredibly proud for that, and I think that's a big position that we can definitely highlight, that we put that much effort into not just selling you products, but also making sure that the products that are out there are tested and you know what you're getting. Because I mean, I looked at a gas station the other day. There's like a 10,000 D9 milligram gummy sitting
Yes,
right there.
nonsense.
And
Yeah.
you're like, there's just no way. So
Uh,
standardization and that kind of aspect, like it's a very confusing place for a lot of people. They grew up feeling like it was demonized. I'm from the South,
mhm.
and my mom wouldn't touch it before, but she'd eat whatever the doctor would prescribe, and that unfortunately ended pretty sad for us at that point. So, give her having access to something as an alternative, those that education aspect of it, that's a big marketing concept. That's also at the core of like who we are too.
Oh, sure. Yeah, people don't really understand just the potential of like the change of the way of life that it can have, and they underestimate the potential that it's got. And it's one of the big things, like free samples. We want people to try stuff. So
Yep.
that was always been a big push, because it's like once you try this, not that, like, for certain people, if you're feeling bad, this isn't like to get you high. This is to make you feel better. So
Exactly. I think,
yeah.
we don't want to like say don't get high though.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You,
But the right
life's gonna have a
person. Yeah,
fun.
yeah. Grandma
Absolutely.
comes in first time, you don't want to get her high. She comes in the second time, you can get her a little
I'd be
high.
surprised, man. I've spent some last summer at like a retirement, like a community, and everybody there had gummies in their pockets. It's just, it's coming around. People are doing it in secret, but I just rather do it in public so everybody can have access to it, and people that would really benefit from it can't have access to it. My mother is one that I can talk about. Like, she horrible back pains, and if this was available in a way for her that was a little bit less controversial, and I really believe she would have been able to prevent the addiction that she had to go through at that point in time, which was really traumatic for me and for her family. So you think about it, you think, man, there's just so many people that could benefit from it, sleeping and assistance with stress. I mean, the fact is that, like, at the core of most of the health problems we have in the United States
Mhm.
is
Stress, anxiety
yeah,
combination. Yeah, for sure.
and this is what directly,
Mhm.
helps that. So
Yeah, we had the little communication. We had a communications meeting today with Carrie in town. That was pretty fun.
absolutely,
And one of the biggest things, like, as she was just talking about different styles of communications and stuff like that, the biggest thing is to and one of the examples that she showed was just like somebody entered to a bad situation. Somebody come in and said something. He took a second, took a breath, thought about what he said, and said the right thing. Everything's way better. I feel like a lot of the idea of what and how some of that cannabis can help relaxation is just the kind of the slow you down aspect, to think about think about what you say before you do it type something. And
hmm
not even the fact about any of the other aspects. It's just
yeah.
like it's just calm for the body. So to the right person.
Yeah, and again, everybody's different. So, people ask that all the time, like,
Mhm.
how much it take? Like, well, it depends. It really, your body chemistry. I am half Hispanic, so I can drink tequila like nobody knows. Like, I could do like 4 or 5 shots and be ready to go. Like, I'm good. But you take somebody even heavier than me, a male, and he does 1 shot of tequila, and he's taking his clothes off. So, like, it's all about your chemistry. It's all,
That's
and
true.
we all have that experience with liquor and with beer. It's just a matter of learning that experience the same way with what your perfect balance is. And then
Yeah,
cannabis is
with
so cool.
THC and cannabis, yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
because there's so many different like combinations, and man, I
Mhm.
love the one-to-one. Like, for me, I'm kind of a low dose person, so I love the CBD,
Like
and
the blood orange type idea. Six
that's
THC, four CBD, a little micro dose of both.
I drink a blood orange and then I'm set. I'm so happy. Like, that's my, like, just one. That's all it takes for me.
Yeah.
But you take other people and they don't feel anything, or you take another person and they're like, that's way too much.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I was high for 8 hours. I woke up the next day. It's like, we only had a 1/10 of a gummy. Come
you wonder about
on.
that. You're like, are you healthy?
No, for
Are you
sure.
okay?
But telling these people, that's the biggest thing. Like the marketing idea is like letting
Mm,
people know this is what it is. That's the idea of like putting
education.
flyers in their hands and say, hey, this is something for you. But then then you have a flyer in your hand. What's the value of that? Or you see a
Right.
billboard down the road. But if you see the billboard down the road on every block multiple times, hey, they must be doing something right.
Right.
You see it on TV. You see some advertising, marketing, the daily refresh of this and that stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. And then we're gonna start doing this podcast soon. I think it's later on today. I don't know what time it starts, but the podcast should
Am
be
I
a really
here?
good way.
This is real.
Yeah, the podcast should be a really good way.
Too much cannabis. Yeah, dude. I mean, that's true though. Like I think before I even started working here, was the amount of money that we're putting in marketing. It truly has a turnaround. And then the co-aligning with like trusted brands like people in Chattanooga in particular, like the news channel, uh, 12 and
Yeah,
the
12. Yeah, the 12 was fun. That was our that was the Broad Street one we went to
yeah.
the other week. That
Hmm.
was our first time at that one, and then that led to
9.
today. We did yeah,
We did 9
nine's OG. We've been with them for a little
Yeah.
while, and then three's been really fun too.
Hmm.
Yeah, the segment they did was, I don't remember if it was Chris, but
With 3. Oh yeah, I can't remember his name.
yeah, but
Shaw. I am.
yeah,
Some.
oddly enough, that's been probably one of my favorite ones so far. So
Yeah.
that was a really cool segment. And then what Channel 12, we met with them a couple weeks ago, and that led us to today, the get together Mark and T went to. So
Yes,
that was fun.
exactly. Yeah, the
Yeah,
Elders
yeah,
Expo,
yeah,
like
yeah.
trying to identify some more of these like niche markets and how do we communicate to them. So like
Mm-hmm.
going to the Elders Expo,
Yeah.
that identifies a particular type of crowd. And shout out to T. She's a new events director. She came on to help us out with 420 Fest, which is a huge success,
Oh,
incredible culture. As an original Chattanoogan, I'm just so proud of that because it just felt so um growing up in Chattanooga, you don't get those experiences as much anymore. But yeah, so she did awesome, and she really identified that some particular people in our company were going to be like awesome for communicating at the Elders Expo. So shout out for them. They did an awesome job there today. But yeah, and then that co-aligning like with the Red Wolves, like being their sponsor. So like
yeah,
they
for the
even
grass.
yeah, they even reached out for us. So, like when you have natural turf, they have to go through and like poke holes on it in the middle of the game. So that's their like team. So we sponsored them, and so they have their little jerseys they put on, and it's like the little logo is like natural grass team, or and it's got Snapdragon. Yeah, there's those kind of things. If people
Oh,
see it
yeah.
in places that are more comfortable and more trusted, and eventually we'll get there. Hopefully, or more and more people. The Chamber of Commerce has been an incredible group of people supportive for what we
Yeah.
have going on, and helping us
Yeah,
align.
pretty much every group of the Chattanooga Chamber of Commerce, because there's different segments
Yeah,
depending on what area of
that's
town, and
cool.
also the Catoosa County Chamber of
Yeah,
Commerce. So
dude,
the Chattanooga and Catoosa have been both been real great to work with.
they've been incredible. They really
So
have been.
yeah,
And
that's been fun. But yeah,
yes,
the 420 Fest this year was so fun, and it just actually got brought up yesterday. One of the guys from Norse Hemp, um,
yeah,
they set up at the tent and had a setup down there, and I talked to him yesterday about picking up some of their products to carry in some of the stores.
nice.
And I was asking how the 420 Fest went and all that stuff,
Hmm.
and he was like, "It was the best fest we've been to
I
by
heard that from
far."
all of
Yeah,
our vendors.
yeah, oh yeah. So all the vendors were just so, so happy about it, and it was
Hmm.
really fun to put on something at like at Miller Park, good turnout, even though Usher was playing down the road, and there was the wine over the water was going on. There's
Yeah,
just so many things happening, but
everything was
it
packed.
it turned out so fun. So
It
the
did.
continuation of that's gonna be great, and
Yeah.
and then really that's kind of uh, what what was the start of it, and the idea of getting into like the community with the
Hmm.
events and the shows and the venue space. So now that we've got the Dragon going
Oh
downtown,
man, that's gonna be awesome.
yeah, building a little
Yeah.
outside little venue for that. So like even
Hmm.
a bigger area for people to congregate at and have fun and hang out, and
Yeah.
little markets and stuff like that. And then the old dark roast is now going to be the Dragon's roast.
That's
We're
gonna
doing
be
that as well
great.
too. Some
Yeah.
music videos, just get together,
Hmm.
canvas people, because that's we always think like, what does the typical cannabis smoker do? Well, 2015 or so, they're the people that go home and they smoke before they go to bed. They don't tell anybody else. Somebody at work knows they smoke, and it's just like a closeted cannabis user.
Hmm.
And then probably about like 5 years ago, a lot of that changed, and more people started like, I smoke, but it's again, we're still smoking at home, and
Hmm.
it's at my home environment or whatever. So trying to get people out to be like, hey, look, bars have great food. You're missing out. Let's get some cannabis products in
Music,
these
man.
bars. Now we're at
Yeah.
like 25 bars in Chattanooga.
Yeah.
So now doing our own thing with some music and cannabis only with no alcohol.
Dude,
So that's it's
there's
can be
nothing. I mean, I don't know. There's nothing. There's a reason that the hippies love listening to music and being
yeah.
high. There's nothing to it. Like it's like the best thing. You feel it, and it's that in that environment and the culture, like
Hmm.
and all the people coming together, and it's
Good
just like
people
good,
too.
positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's something the world really needs more of. Like if I can be a part of helping people get access to that, like let's do it. Like
Yeah.
calm down, The politics suck. We're getting screwed every direction. We have from the beginning of time, but
Hmm.
like there's as much as you can do, and then you get involved in it and you do your best. But at the end of the day, take it, take a load off, like just relax and have fun. And that's another big thing that we really try to focus on at Snapdragon is I mean, we're trying to take over at least the state, and hopefully with the drinks push them out nationally. And we have 86 people or 84 people that are really, and they rely on our decisions, to feed their families. And it's a very serious job, but at the same time, like, man, it's so fun to be able to go to work and have fun and like be able to joke around and be yourself and be, that don't forget to have fun. That's a huge thing. So I love that.
Oh, for sure. And as we started to, everybody we bring on have fun with for sure.
Yeah.
But some of the newest adventures, of course, we figured out production years ago. We've always made our own stuff. Figured out retail. That's pretty good education wise and stuff like that. But just talking about the social atmosphere
Mhm.
of like what does a cannabis bartender look like? What does a cannabis bud tender look like? What does
Yeah.
cannabis food look like? What's
Yeah.
all these
It's
things.
a lot.
That's been kind of the odd but fun and but unique ideas. I think maybe even in the like the HR department as far as like the hiring and getting the right person in place. Like how do how do we this
Right.
isn't alcoholic drinks, this is cannabis, but you have to educate, but you're not used to it because you're a bartender. We're not taking people that are retail people and putting them in that position because they're not they're not bartenders. So it's like
Yeah.
that's
You got to find the right personality, and also like when you're inebriated, for lack of a better term, it feels different when you're with on cannabis than the alcoholic beverage. And you don't want somebody that's gonna be like up in your face. It's a different energy, and you want to
yeah,
be able to like find that balance, and have people that are like well enough, or I guess let's say that are uh, pay enough attention to be able to recognize
yeah.
that we're in this inventive and creative position right now as well. And that when we hire people on, that's probably my biggest question to them is like, are you prepared to have for change? Because like
Mm.
if you are like terrified of change, then this is not the shop, this is not the space for you, because who knows what the government's going to come in tomorrow and tell us we can and can't do, and who knows what what's going to change and in between here and there. And you just have to be, and as we're starting off, we're defining a lot of these things. So we will try things and maybe realize this isn't really necessarily working for us. So like, let's move you here and let's move this here and let's change it out. And
Back to the drawing board.
yeah,
Yeah.
you have to be ready to do that, because if you're not, then you know we've changed a lot. I mean, there's been a lot of growth, but also just a lot of changing as well. But it's all been good, positive, fun stuff.
For
At the end
sure.
of the day,
Oh yeah. Taking over Tennessee's always been on the drawing board.
absolutely.
But the next steps to get there are production.
Hmm.
So currently we're doing a full build out. We purchased our first warehouse.
Ooh,
So this is our build out start to finish.
cool.
Here's concrete floors, here's metal walls, build something, make it nice, right? So that's a fun project. It's been going pretty good. We've only been doing it for a month and a week now, and we have gone pretty far. It's another month out, and we should be done in probably 2 months. So as far as like once we get production caught up in the idea of warehouse to say, hey, we can sell as much as we can sell.
Hmm.
Let's manufacture and keep it stocked up in an air conditioned, climate controlled warehouse that'll hold everything that we need. Because right now we're
Yeah.
just kind of like the gummies that we make. Every gummy in every one of those bags was
Yeah.
put in that bag less than 3 weeks ago.
Hmm.
Every pre roll that you're getting was not just put in that tube, but it was flour 2 or 3 weeks ago, all straight nug run, indoor run pre rolls, grinded up. We make all of our own cones, everything done.
Hmm.
So just, I love the small batch stuff, and we've scaled up as small batches as much as we can. But the next endeavor is going to be that whole let's mass make, let's stock up,
How
let's be
can
able
we
to
keep the
sell.
quality?
Yeah, but keeping the
Yeah.
quality. So definitely, I believe that we've been doing this now for some years, so we've been able to, of course, scale up to where we're at and continue keeping the quality and
Hmm.
doing the best that we can. So we definitely want to keep those goals for
Yeah.
sure. But you got any insight or any thoughts on what a Tennessee takeover would look like?
Man, that first, like you said, that first step is getting the space, because yeah, while we may have the ability to of course
Open
keep
up
things,
stores everywhere.
yeah, if we don't have the space for storage and we don't have the space for people, even
Oh yeah.
sometimes you get in the bakery in there and I like go drop something off, I'm like, I'm out of here, dude. I'm gonna get run over. So being able to provide them and give them a better workspace, but also to give us more storage, it's going to be, that's the most important part of it, because you don't want to coming from our previous wholesale director. You don't want to make promises to people because you don't want to not and then not be able to provide, and that's been kind of a difficult part, just because there have been so many different SKUs and we got to keep
Oh yeah.
everything together and learning, in all the different stores. But I mean, when I started out, my office was on the floor at Easterish. That was my desk. So really the first part of Tennessee Takeover is like, I'm looking forward to that desk in Saudi Daisy, man.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It looks great. I'm really excited about that. Getting the team to everybody under one roof, I think,
Mhm.
is going to really help with our processing as well.
Yeah, just even down to the communications aspect of like,
Yeah,
start to finish, what does something look like, then versus
exactly.
now. So I'm excited about
It'll
that.
be better for planning. I think we
Mhm.
have some great strategists, great mindsets on here, great supportive team, and really, it's just a matter of getting our foundations figured out. And
Yeah.
so the Tennessee, making sure all of our our products are in and they're functioning correctly, that our
Mhm.
pricing's fair, that it makes sense, that our packaging is spot on, and then really all it is formulaic at that point. And I think another thing I always say is that, cannabis, while it may be something that takes a lot of education, it's like the most bipartisan thing. It's like a Dolly Parton, it doesn't matter who you are, you love
Mhm.
it. It's most people want it to be something that's not taboo, but
Well, sure. Yeah, I guess yeah, you're not wrong. But the stigma getting broke, and that's
yeah,
what we've been trying to do for all these years.
yeah.
And man, it's looking back, like what 2018
Oh
was,
man.
2019 was compared to now. Oh, it's so great. So
We have great director meetings, and that was something that was brought up today because we were talking about DoorDash putting
mhm.
on their legal hemp,
Yeah.
like queue, and someone was like, "Man, you remember having to go like to the gas station, It's like, and then someone's like, "I don't even want it anymore," because it's true. Like the idea that we've grown so much, there's been so much progress.
Mhm.
Still a lot of progress to go, but like Tennessee Takeover, it just is a matter of making sure we're solid, and it sells itself.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. And
Each bottleneck comes yeah, the bottlenecks are always going to come,
yeah,
but even in moving into the new place, because that was one of the biggest, like our production facility in Red Bank. It's about 3,000 square foot. It's a
okay.
decent this is a decent sized facility, even not too bad.
Hmm.
Then we have an additional 2,000 square foot of warehouse space,
Agree.
about 0.2 miles down the road. So anyways, that 5,000 square foot of production warehouse space, we run out of that as soon as we brought the drinks in,
Yeah,
like 2 months in, 3 months in, to bringing the drinks in, because the drinks are like, well, here's 4 pallets, there's 4 pallets, there's four
heavy.
pallets. So that
Yeah,
was like, yeah, bottleneck. But just so it's like warehouse space for sure.
it's
Definitely
gonna be good.
excited about. But along with this current warehouse building that we're doing now, we already see there's going to be a bottleneck with the drink ideas. So we're looking into doing a different warehouse just for drink idea, maybe potentially canning stuff like that. So
That'd be cool.
yeah, all the fun
I
things.
mean, there's so many different things. I think that's it. You feel like a kid in a candy shop sometimes
Yeah,
because you're like, which direction do we take it?
I know,
And
right?
they always say like, go customer first. What does the customer want? And when it comes to cannabis, they want it all, man.
Hmm.
There's so many different ways to get it to them, and we definitely have a product line that is an
Something for
assortment.
everyone.
Yeah, some for everyone.
Yeah.
That's it.
So yeah, some good stuff. Let's see. Let's
What you
see.
got?
I don't know. Where am I at right now? Hmm.
Just to talk a little more about the 420 Fest because I feel like that is such a
Oh
awesome thing
yeah.
that we did, and then the community aspect of reach out, like the dinners. I just
Oh
got
yeah. If you
confirmation before I walked in here
huh?
that
St.
St.
John's.
John's, yeah, they want to do a nice like upscale cannabis dinner with us. They're
That's
like
so
super
fun to do.
excited about it. So like,
Yeah.
what a cool thing to, I mean,
Oh
again,
yeah.
be a part of.
So we started this year with the goal of like quarterly. So we did
Mhm.
one in the spring. We just did one at Wonder. The first one in the spring was at Naked River. The second one was at Wonderlinger.
Yeah,
So we did Wonderlingers a couple
incredible.
weeks ago, a little murder mystery, little dinner, and it was so cool. Carolyn, the chef
Chef,
over at Wonderlinger, is amazing. Everything that she cooked was amazing.
I want some
But
meatloaf.
I know, but the presentation was so funny because it
Yeah,
was like a murder mystery TV dinner type setup. So it come on like a TV
TV
dinner
tray.
type tray,
Mm-hmm.
and it was meatloaf and the green bean casserole,
Some mashed potatoes.
yeah, mashed
Yeah,
potatoes, and then but the gravy was like this onion gravy that was really good,
it's awesome.
and we infused everything, and it was all just like killer little
My
food.
dad was doing shots of the infused gravy. I was like, give me that. It was good though. It was that
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, so that was such a fun time. So it's been really cool, partnering with these chefs that are
Yeah.
like, she wanted to do it. She loved the idea. It was something cool. and it was something that we were able to do affordably for people,
Mm-hmm.
still more than going out and eating just like a traditional meal, but it was like 40
Right.
bucks. It was 40 bucks a person, include your meal and your little drink or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So it was fun. It was like an hour and a half went on, a little murder mystery.
Cute.
I forgot who killed me, but somebody did.
Yeah, Josh
Yeah.
got murdered.
Yeah, I was the dead guy
Yeah.
there. but
Oh,
but it was stuff like that was fun. So the St. John's, I'm so excited about
man,
that
that's
one.
gonna be cool.
Yeah, me and you were talking about it beginning of this week, so
Mm-hmm.
that's exciting to hear this confirmation about it. But like that idea of an amazing four-course meal catered with cannabis flavor from the food and the drink, four foods, four drinks, good to
Yeah, you
go.
can't
I
stop.
can't wait to do that. That's
St.
gonna be
John's
so
is
fun.
one of my favorite restaurants, maybe like
Have you?
in the world. Like,
Oh
yeah,
wow,
they
I've
have some fantastic food.
heard so many good things. I've yet to go
Yeah, well, it's
soon.
very soon. Yeah. This quarter.
This quarter, yeah.
Yeah, they're just like super super like, give a ton of attention to their food, and I think again aligning ourselves with those trusted brands is a huge marketing concept that I want to continue doing. And so for me, like one of my favorite things that we got to do with like the 420 Fest was to be able to like have Malele Roots and a few other local bands that
And
are
animals.
yeah, and oh, what is Matt's new band? Mitma. I don't know.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I always
Hence
say it wrong.
the Scarlet Love conspiracy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which their bassist is Mark, who is
Hmm.
a retail guy in Red Bank. He did the Elder Expo today with T as well. So cool to be able to support them. Killed it. It was
Hmm.
just so much fun to be able
Oh, it
to
was.
kind of align with those musicians and
It was fun. It was fun to be able to do this one and do it right. There's been, there's shows, there's things to do every now and then, but
yeah,
this was like we wanted to do it right. So we called the best sound system in town.
yeah.
I mean,
It was
it
done
was.
well too, man. And then
Oh
it
yeah.
sounded great, and everybody there was vibing. They were having a great time. I even think the
Hmm.
guy with the cross he liked it. He was singing. He just wanted to
Oh
sing
yeah, the Jesus guy was singing for a while. That's for sure.
it. So, yeah, man.
So the events are cool. Also, too, with some of these events, speaking of tea earlier,
Mhm.
the bridal show.
Oh yeah, it's this
Yeah.
weekend. That's Sunday.
Hmm. Yeah. And I know this podcast will air next Friday,
Okay, well, it's
but
last Sunday.
last Sunday,
Hopefully, we survive.
but current Sunday, last Sunday. Yeah, no, right. Go home or
No,
not forgotten.
no, I think it's gonna be awesome. They did an awesome job, like bringing Zinnia Spa, which is
Hmm.
a whole other
Well,
industry.
cannabis self care. The idea of the Zinnia Spa, located in
So cool.
East Ridge at 3909 Ringgold Road, is the idea of you can partake in cannabis products, enjoy the most floating on a cloud feeling ever while you're getting pampered nails, pedicure, facials, massage. A couple of massage therapists over there that
Hmm.
practice some of the really cool off the kind of, not off the
Yeah,
wall, but just like some specialty type stuff
just
that's
like
like,
super deep tissue kind of
yeah, yeah,
something.
yeah.
It's like, all
Oh
right, let's
yeah.
go.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple options for sure over there. So just a cool way to experience like what what cannabis can offer, because it's and kind of what got me into that was over the years, I just go to a massage place in Hickson or by Lee Highway or
Yeah,
whatever
right.
random one, just
Hmm.
not the best massage ever, but it's whatever. But, you eat like 2 or 3 gummies about 30, 45 minutes before you go in. It's still floating on a cloud,
Yeah,
So,
it's
so just that idea was what kind of inspired that. I was like, we got to get people high and get them a massage.
yeah. I mean,
They're gonna
who's gonna
foam
say
up.
no to
I
that?
know, right?
Like after
So,
that, yeah. And
so
the symbioticness between all the like that and the music, and like
hmm
we're putting on events. I know that they have one planned out. I think in a couple of months for at the new Dragon Roast. Once it's up and running and fully functional, she's got like a they're gonna be there. Xenia Spa will be there, maybe doing chair
nice.
massages too. And then you'll have like
Yeah.
music, and there's so there's a couple little events that are popping up here and there. All those you
Awesome.
can be found on our website, and also if you download our app, it's the Snap app.
Snap
Yeah,
up. That's it.
yeah,
So.
a little calendar there.
With the bridal stuff, I'm excited about trying to see what that looks like,
Yeah.
because not that we want to like host or wedding plan a whole party or whatever, but being able to be there and be a participant in
Hmm.
bringing the Dragonfly is our mobile bar
Yeah.
that we have for being able to do setups. If anybody wanted to have, come and do your infused drinks or
Hmm.
whatever, so we got the Dragonfly for that. And then as we adventure into doing a little hot box, little smoking gaming bus, a little just some random little things,
Yeah, I know.
parties, throwing
Shut up.
parties.
What are we doing with the fire truck though?
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I showed up and there was like, well, you told me about it, but you told me about the spa too, and I was like, nah, and then we had it. I was like, what the heck? But then you told me about the bus, and it looked cool. There was like Xbox inside
Yeah,
there and all these TVs. Yeah, and
three
like,
Xboxes.
heck yeah, when it showed up, and I was like, dude, he really bought that. That's amazing. So
It's too good of a deal to not pass it up.
yeah, so the idea is that we can take it and we can go and do some like custom things. So like for the Pink Bridal Show, that's for weddings.
Mm-hmm.
Our bakery did an awesome job, man. They made undosed edibles, so we had the cupcakes. We got to take them home and try them because after we do like a photo shoot,
Mm-hmm.
and like they were just awesome. They were like top notch, and that's undosed. So the idea that you can get that, you can get it dosed, probably some of the better like quality, beautiful. I mean, they look
Oh
like
yeah.
little succulents on them. The color palette was perfect, and so much intention and passion went in it. The shout out to Liz over at the bakery. She's just absolutely um passionate about everything she does
Oh,
and
for sure.
want to make sure it looks perfect, tastes perfect, and it really shows.
Oh,
We have
the little touches, because there's a lot of stuff that we have to do to scale. So when I'm used to looking at things, there a lot of the stuff that we sell is, it's consistent, but it's like, hey, there's 13 stores and they all have it. But her love that they put into some of the,
yeah,
like the cupcakes, for example,
exactly
you just look at every cupcake and it's got its, like, I mean,
little
hand drawn
personality.
little like the butterflies or whatever
Hmm.
on it.
Yeah.
It's like, that's so cool. So.
And they all taste awesome. So you can get
Hmm.
those custom made. They had like some cakes that they're potentially gonna do. I know they had some like these edible nugs. I think they came up
Yeah,
with
those are so cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
they did bring those. That was the initial drop on those. That they made them for 420 Fest,
Hmm.
and they take
Sold
Rice
out fast.
Krispies and coat them green, and then coat them with some gold, and there's so, and it looks like the jar of them just looks like nugs. It's so
Yep.
cool.
But there's
So,
actually little Rice Krispie treats that you can eat,
uh-huh.
which is super cool. But yeah, so they're doing that, and then the Dragonfly having some like cocktails and stuff. So you could hire these, get us do a consultation, hire us to come to your events.
Hmm. We can
Yeah.
make a groom's cake.
Oh, sure.
We could
Sure. What is that?
any of it. Yeah.
Make
And
a Christmas cake.
I want to
So
make that. We
specific.
got to do the infused. Well, I don't think you want to infuse the main wedding cake.
Oh, got you.
Unless you just
I
infuse one layer of it,
fair.
then you know what layer that is.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
then you can infuse the groom's cake, and then it's like,
You know more about
that's what
weddings than me,
I
man. I'm
do.
a while. Did the groom even have a cake? I
Yeah,
guess
the groom's got a cake. Get
he's
out
got
of
his own
here.
cake.
It's always small and not that elegant, but it's easier to make. Yeah, that's
Okay. All right.
right.
Well, we do groom cakes.
Oops.
So that I can't. I'm sorry about this chair, man. Yeah. Then we got the drinks that are gonna go, and then Zinnia is gonna be there with us as well, doing like the showing like we could do a little pampering for your bridal or whoever beforehand. So that's gonna be exciting. She's got a lot of different things that we're offering as a kind of a trifecta of what we can do customizable for brides. I think they're gonna get swamped though, because I've been to a bridal show before. It's at the convention center downtown, and it is madhouse out there. But that's a whole other direction to take things. And I know Liz has been working on like getting us kind of some. I like to say, build your fence.
Mhm.
Like, give us our fence. Like, what are we going to be able to work inside of that to be able to offer people? And she's been doing a great job getting all that figured out. She's awesome job trying to like coordinate all of it. And that's something I also really love too, is like you hire these people on, you see this potential in them, you train them and you coach them. And training is not the right word, but coaching, you coach and you direct them. And then we all start working together and there's like system and you see stuff coming out of it and
Oh
everyone's,
yeah.
functioning, working together. There's always going to be,
It's the coolest thing seeing some of the new folks. Like, there's always the shining stars. So
yeah,
you'll see some of these the new folks as they come in and they just go above and beyond.
yeah,
And they're the ones that are, of course, around for a while and,
yeah.
working their way through the company for sure.
Hmm.
So it's definitely a rewarding part of it.
I try to tell people that all the time. Like I said, like I started off as an intern here, and that now I'm there's you,
Yeah.
me, and Rob and Steve, and but that's because I tried, I cared, and really that's about it. Show up, and you know, just also I have different ideas, and I want things to work, but it's a place where you get rewarded constantly for putting in the effort, and I think that's also something that's completely different than like most places I know. Well, previous job, they're like, you did an awesome job, Ariel. Like you're like on top of it, you're doing incredible. You get a 10-cent raise, and you're like, oh, thank you. You know what I mean? And like that's great. At the
Yeah.
time, I thought it was, but that's 10 cents is an awesome number, but this day and age with inflation, that's been a hard
Oh
thing
yeah.
too. And we worked through COVID. I did
Mhm.
every position in this company through COVID. Not well, but I did. There were maybe some returns on in the shipping department. But
Happens.
yeah, we pushed through it, and we made a lot of good effort to keep our people happy as much as possible. And I think that's another amazing thing. That you're not stingy, and you want people, you truly want people to be happy and successful in their lives as well. So like it's a lot better than working in a place where you feel like you have to justify that or like
Yeah,
fight for that. So
yeah,
I love it.
good stuff for sure. Good
Yeah,
stuff, good crew,
good for you, man.
all the fun things.
So many fun things. Warm it here.
Oh man, one of the a lot of fun things all day today, but oh man, I guess one of the sad things here lately. I guess it just ended. Today was the last day of it. The doobie blast.
Oh
Oh man,
man,
the doobie blast.
like
Thankful though for our lovely customers. These past week and a half, we've given out giving out doobie blast. You come into Snapdragon and bought something.
Merry
Hey,
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. It was from what July
Birthday.
the 4th to the 11th.
Yep, 4th through the 11th. So they
Yeah.
said, this is, and honestly, put it in your fridge. It's gonna last longer than that, but that's what
Mhm.
we felt most ethically safe
Oh
to
sure.
say. Okay, hey, this is the timeline that it's gonna be.
Yeah,
Um,
and not that we even failed a water test.
no,
We just had some results on a water test that I know from previous history that expiration times. If the results come back on the water test as perfect, I guarantee 12-month shelf life on
hmm
expiration. If the water test comes back with X amount of numbers in it, I understand that there is a 3-month shelf life on it. So shelf life was dropped some, but we wanted to say that hey, let's get all these out in 30 days. So June, I think 24th or 26th ish, they were canned and made.
yep,
So from June 26th until July 11th, we had to get rid of. It's like, how do we get 99,600 cans? Yeah, so we
yeah,
give them out.
we gave them out, not just to our customers, but
Hmm.
like not just to our retail customers, but also to some accounts. So like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Shady's Corner did this awesome mixed drink focused on that, and it kind of coincided because July 10th rather,
Hmm.
is kind of like a cool cannabis holiday.
Yeah.
So
So 710, if you read it upside down, like when you're checking the oil in the car, 710 is oil, right? So that's the idea of the
I
oil
had no idea.
holiday. So that's so cannabis concentrations are
Creative.
known as oil or dabs or wax or
hmm
concentrate or shatter or crumble or whatever, right? So that's the like the heavy folks, the guys that smoke a lot, the dab folks. That's their holiday versus the 420 is in theory now the flower holiday.
Okay. See,
Hmm.
I didn't know why. I just knew that it was.
Yeah.
I didn't. What do you know? What why 420?
Uh, the some of the old history was the police back in the 60s or so would use code 420 for somebody doing something like that. Some people say that was like a rumor about it, but then also in the 60s with some other stuff, there was
I gotcha.
time to smoke in the evening, kind of get together, and it was I don't know.
Meeting at
Yeah,
like a
there's a couple.
college.
Yeah, some meanings change between the 50s and 70s. It kind of depends
I
on who you ask
gotcha.
on it, but I've read into it, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So there's no solid evidence on that, but we definitely know oil.
Mm-hmm.
710.
That's
Got it.
just somebody was looking at 710 upside down. I was like, yeah, oil.
Well, that's a guess.
Well, oil's just
Yeah.
710 upside down. I don't know. Somebody started it one
You're so
day.
confident.
Somebody started. Well, no,
Okay.
that was. I guess it's been around for a while.
I
So about
believe
10 years or so. It's been a thing,
it has
but
been.
it started as a thing, and it was like somebody was like, let's do this, and then like now to where the point where people across the country know.
I
So
got you. And so to celebrate that, we gave away free
do
doobies.
big
And
blast.
again, shout out to Tim. I think he was on last episode.
Yeah.
The beverage director. He's looking real buff, man, because he was just pulling cases here and there, all over town.
Everywhere, all the bars and restaurants and liquor stores. A couple liquor stores he went to that sell our products, and he's
Mhm.
just giving to the employees and
Merry
stuff. So
Christmas.
it's like,
Yeah,
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 it's a win-win for us because you get something in people's hands. A lot of these folks that got it, especially in the stores, that there were people that you come in for a pre-roll or come in for an edible or come in for a
yeah.
bag of gummies or whatever, and they don't think about the drinks.
No.
And then you got to try this. The drinks are just so cool. They hit so fast. The bioavailability of them so great.
hmm
Like when you smoke, a joint's got roughly 200 milligrams in a joint. You usually partake about 10 to 20% of that. So you got 20 to 40 milligrams at most. You eat like a cereal treat, like a Rice Krispie at 200 milligrams. maybe you get 60 to 80 milligrams. You got more, so you have a total efficacy. At one point in time, you'll be higher on an edible than you would just
Right.
smoking. Takes longer for that to kick in. But with the drinks, you get best of both worlds. If you drink a 100 milligram drink, you're getting about 90 to 95% of that. So you're actually getting all 90 to 95 milligrams because it's water soluble.
Mm-hmm.
It's not getting bypassed or broke down. Stomach reaction, acidic reactions, change the molecular structure of CBD and THC, stuff like that as well too. There's a breakdown that goes with it. But there's also just the speed that it kicks in. Like 15 minutes after drinking one of the drinks, you start to feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, so these people that aren't aware, it's been so cool. They've come back and it's like, that was great. What the heck? What was that? And
A
it's like
real alcohol alternative.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's like it's so neat. The amount of people just in the past year that have talked to us and mentioned about, I used to drink 3 or 4 beers a night before I go to bed, and I kind of got a little belly on me and kind of wanted to quit. And my doctor said all, so, and then it's like I just drink one of these. It's a can of water, and I'm good. And it's like it doesn't get really more healthy than that.
No, it doesn't. Then,
stay hydrated.
Yeah, you stay hydrated while you're taking it in, and then like the after effects too for me are awesome. I love that. I don't really enjoy like inhaling smoke so much. So, and then I also feel like with the cans, the social aspects already kind of taken care of for you. Like beer already did all the work to like make it cool to have
pop a top again.
Yeah, have something in your hand. When you're out and so you kind of are able to break into that scene already because people are used to having like a beer in their hand while they're in the social environment. It's almost like a safety thing. So like, let's, instead of having alcohol in there, let's put some weed in that drink. And, it's a whole different experience. And I think that's one of the coolest parts about the drinks too. It's like, man, the coming down, the quick and feelings. It's just, man, it's my favorite way to partake for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's just quick. So yeah, personally, because we've been doing the slushy since 2022, so we couldn't we couldn't put our stuff in a bottle. So it was like, all right, but we can do drinks, we can do slushies, and instead of doing like making tea every day like McDonald's does and having it go bad, it's like, well, slushies are they're frozen in a machine, they'll stay good for a week, right? It's great.
Right.
So that was the first thing of scaling up.
Love
and then in 2022, we did the slushies. We've always done the slushies at 50 milligram. So people's intro into it was, I can't tell you how many times people get a slushie and be like, I was so toe up. But now people are used to it and it's great. But
well, it's the 50 milligrams in the cup. People just drink the whole thing and you're like, no. I drink this much and people are like, Ariel, I can tell you how to slushie. I think I keep accidentally getting high because I never really was like a big cannabis user. I participated in whatever growing up, but coming here, I've learned so much about it and just a huge appreciation for the plant. And so like my tolerance though is not like everybody, a lot of the other people in
work. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So if I try stuff like that, I was laughing the other day. You go in the bakery, it smells so good. These are fresh cookies. They're like, hey, do you want one? And you're like, okay, all right. So you eat one, and then I'm like, I gotta get it. I was laughing so hard, like the picture frame came off the wall and it was stuck in my hair, and I was like, I gotta go home. It was rough. But it's so much fun. I think that's the other big thing. Like the big purpose behind everything, the marketing and everything is just to try to get in people's hands, to help them relax, to have fun. It's a God-given plan. It grows naturally. Like, this is a whole mess about how we get it in our bodies and who's in charge of how we participate in it. It's a bunch of ridiculousness. At the end of the day, it should be there. It's there because we've grown and evolved with the plant as well in our endocannabinoid system. If you have it, use it, have fun.
I know, right? Don't panic.
Don't panic.
It's organic.
It's organic. End on that.
End on that. Yeah. Well, this has been a great episode. Oh.
No.
That was the one thing I was not supposed to do. All right. If you ever do a podcast in the future, don't hit the tape.
Yeah, that was
bad idea.
I'm panicking. I'm panicking.
All right. On today's episode, it's over, right? We're good. We start now, or
where have I been?
Yeah. Well, it's been fun today. Glad Ariel's on with us.
Had a good time.
This wraps it up on Yes, It's Legal.
Yes, it is legal.
It is legal. And we're out.
SnapdragonHemp.com. I don't know.